I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so afraid of this woman. Because this woman, she's got my.
Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of On Display with me, Melissa Gorga.
Whatever.
What? Did you say whatever?
Whatever.
I brought my hubby along today.
I don't want to do this. I'm so mad at you.
Why? Whatever. Don't say whatever.
I come home from...
Say hi, darling. Say hi to everyone, first of all.
Hi, guys. Hey, I like them. I don't like you.
Say hi to the listeners.
No, how about the Joesiners, whatever?
No, this is my podcast. Get used to
Everything is yours. As soon as I married you, you took it all. It's over. It's mine, me.
No, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine.
We had a fight one time. She's like, I'll take it all.
I will.
All your buildings, all your everything, your car, your underwear. I'm going to take it all. You'll have nothing. I'm like, holy shit.
I will. Try me.
Try me.
I will take everything.
Uh-huh.
I will.
And what I want one thing, and I can't even have it. I come home.
What? Don't say
work.
You can't have it.
I
Nobody wants to hear it.
Listen, I always get how do you keep your relationship tight, right? Because I come home and I go and I look at her and I do something funny. I'm like, and I let her know.
Wait, what? Run that by me again?
I look at her and as I look at her, I look down on her, like up and down. And I kind of give her like a little like wink, and I'm like, yeah, like,
Oh my God! He looks at you like, oh yeah,
yeah, like oh yeah. Like,
and they know what I do. What is that? A warning?
And that's like 18 years later. I'm just letting her know, like, listen, let's get it on, And I go to touch her.
No, you just walked in the door. You're supposed to first of all, when you walked in the door today.
But wait, let me finish. So I look at her and I give her that look, and then I go to pinch her, and I went to go pinch her. She swings and hits my hand. She's like, absolutely not.
This is where I'm going to call you selfish.
This
is why.
I'm going to tell you.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to correct you when you're wrong.
Okay.
Gino got sent home from school, sick, right? So he was here. I was running around. I was at building departments. I was doing stuff for the house. I ran to the food store. No. I ran to the food store on the way home. Right? I was making dinner currently when you walked in, and also giving Gino an at-home COVID test, which he passed, by the way, everyone. It's negative. He just had like a little fever, and he wasn't feeling good, so I just take precautions. I'm doing all of this, and this guy is like trying to grab on me when he just walks in the door, like, hey. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, what do you want me to do? I at least listen. She went to the building department today, guys, because we're building the house. But I'm building a bunch of other stuff too, right? So I got a lot of pressure. I got a lot of work. And my job is extremely hard and stressful. So she's dealing with it a little bit now because we're building this house. So
I'm taking it
she's
very
in a bad
personal.
Mood. She's in a bad mood, right? So I come home. It's all over for me because I just dealt with 13 hours of hell. So when I come home, I want to be happy.
I'm in a bad mood every day now.
Right. And everyone asks.
Because I can't it's so much work.
And everyone asks me, how do you keep a relationship so tight and ongoing? This is how you do it. Because no matter how hard your day is, you come home and you forget. I forget it. As soon as I walk through that door, I forget of all my troubles and my problems, whatever.
Well, why? Because you have a girl standing there that you are just in love with.
No, it's not about that.
And you're like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love you.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, let's talk about this. And it's like eating at a restaurant, right? You go to a restaurant once, twice, 10 times, 15. I've eaten at that restaurant 18,000 times. But
it's very high end, 5-star, Michelin. Yeah. What's that called?
The high ends get boring and tired, and you're like, I ate this meat filet mignon. I ordered it 6,000 times. It's the same one. Let me add some juice on it. Let me put some ketchup and some barbecue sauce.
All right, so this is what's getting
peppercorn sauce, but whatever. But so what you got to do is you keep it fresh. So I came home. I looked at her cute because I know she went to the building department. She was in a bad mood. I look at her. Hey, I wink. I go to grab her. No.
All right,
and then I start thinking. Then I start thinking of Adam Levine, right? And and I heard he got caught texting everybody. He's texting all these girls, and I'm like, "What the poor guy? He's probably did the same thing."
The poor guy.
Yeah,
What?
Probably came
First
home.
of all, he hasn't been caught yet. By the way, like actually with a woman. I don't think they have any proof that he was with a woman. But he was definitely flirtatious and multiple DMs and text messages.
Big deal, because he probably.
Are you saying big deal? So are you saying that in our world of worlds, I'm married also, right? That it's okay for you to go ahead and DM and text other women? Who cares?
I'm not. I mean,
No. Answer the question.
The problem is
this. Look at me. Look at me in my eyes right now, Joe Gorga. You will get so.
I'm not looking at her right now. I know. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so afraid of this woman. Because this woman, she's got my Instagram on lockdown. She's got my text messages. I'm afraid. You know, my friends say, "Yo, when I see you," it's like the mafia. We talk like the mob. They're like, "When I see you, we'll talk." I'm like, we talk and go. And every time my friends text me, they're like, "What's up, Melissa?"
Yeah.
You know, no, but I'm afraid that sometimes I send a text.
I did not read your text.
Yeah, who knows? I guarantee you. Every
you got a
text.
guilty conscience?
No, I don't.
Is there something I should know?
No, I don't do nothing. I mean, Adam Levine obviously had a little bit more, freedom. The poor guy. He probably came home from work. He went into the studio and he tried to come up with all these songs and he was having a bad day and he just couldn't do it. So then he came home and he went to touch his. What is she? Is she a model?
She's beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The poor guy just maybe didn't do anything. Maybe he just wanted to feel something like, "Hey, you're hot." Sometimes you just need that.
Is it okay? So then that's a question. Is it okay to sext people, right? Like you're sexting because that gets it out of your system and you're flirting back and forth. So you're telling me that if you don't want to cheat physically and physically touch another woman, but it's okay to have that flirty moment through like sexting or DMs because that gets it like you need attention. For me, that's saying you need attention.
Well, you're sometimes you do things that I don't accept too. You got a hot guy on your thing, right? And you go and send it. No, I don't know. You'll see a guy and you send it to all your cousins on quarantine. I just found out, and I'm like,
quarantine.
Yeah.
He's talking about He's talking about the group chat I have with my girl cousins and my sisters. We call it quarantine cousins because during the quarantine we just text each other on this quarantine cousins all day. And one time, we talk girl stuff. One time. He's a famous guy, by the way. One time I texted his picture.
He's ugly as hell. Look at me. You should be sending pictures.
He is
of me.
not ugly, but I sent his picture through to quarantine cousins, and like I even ratted on myself and told Joe. Like
she did. That's how I know.
I told him myself.
So is that cheating?
Well, look, like these are things that we could also talk about. Like this is also things we can talk about, or like when you're dating someone, when there's like a yellow flag, right? So it's like, when there's red flags and your friend's dating someone and you're like, wow, this is not going to work. They are a horrible person. Like this is a huge red flag. But what about when you get like a half a red, like and it's like yellow, right? It's a yellow flag, and you're like,
so what does that mean?
He's not horrible or she's not horrible, but this is like a little like they don't agree on something. It could be politics. It could be the way that they decide. Like one likes to go to dinner, one doesn't like to go to dinner, or one's messy and one's clean, and one's very organized, one's not. Like little things that are yellow flags when you're dating, right? That you're like, we don't really vibe here, but like.
Well, I dated this girl, right? And she was so hot.
You dated a girl?
Before you. But
really?
she really was crazy.
What was it? One of your ex-fiancés, possibly?
No.
So there was more besides the two fiancés.
Of course there was.
Wonderful.
That's why I'm so good today, because I've had too much. I'm full. My stomach is full.
Oh, my God.
But no. I dated this one girl. She was so hot. She really was. And, no disrespect to you. She was.
Where'd you meet her?
But she was.
Where?
But she was, and she was great in bed and
Strip
everything.
Club?
And let me finish.
Where did you meet her?
But she was sloppy. And I went to her house, and she was kind of like dirty, and she had this dog and this cat, and the cat would leave the food on the floor, and I'm like, yo, you gonna clean that up?
I can't believe you're telling me this story.
Because I'm telling you, that was a yellow flag for me, because I just couldn't get past.
I get what you're
I
saying.
couldn't
Like
get
a messy
past-
girl. You are
Yeah.
the type that you couldn't be with a messy girl.
I couldn't do it, man. It was just wouldn't.
So you give that advice to Antonia sometimes. Like sometimes Antonia's room looks like a damn bomb hit it. Like literally whatever she wore in the last 4 days is on her floor, and like her water bottle's upside down and her bed's unmade, and like we used to always like make sure her room was perfect, and I refuse to now. I'm like, nope, it's not going to be perfect for you. Like you're going to walk in there and make it perfect, or you're going to live like that. And like her wet towels on the floor or whatever it is. And you know Joe's advice to her all the time? His advice is like, how are you going to get married and get a man? Because if you're messy and you're dirty, they're not going to look at you or talk to you, because that's your true like pet peeve.
Well, because if you meet a girl and you're like, wow, she's beautiful, she's nice, she's great, but then you go to her house or her apartment and it's a disaster, and you're like, holy shit. Like, how am I
Well, is that something that, what if you really vibe with someone and you're obsessed with them, and do you take something like, and this is a question for my listeners too. I mean, and I'm sure this has happened to you guys out there that are single and that are dating. If you're dating someone and everything seems so right? Perfect. You're attracted. The dates are good. He's kind, but like, they're a hot mess, or the girl's a hot mess. You walk into their apartments or even their cars and they are clusterfucks of a mess, like shit everywhere, like almost like borderline dirty. Like, what do you do? Does that turn you off instantly, or
it turns me off?
For you, that would be like a deal breaker.
Listen, yeah, I had to hang out for a little while because the sex was pretty good, so I hung out for a while. That's, it was.
Joe, who talks this way? Can I discuss what I've had in life?
Absolutely not. I don't want to hear who you dated or who you had sex with. No.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it, please.
Okay, but I got to hear it because I'm a confident woman, and guess what? I don't care who you had before me, honey, because obviously it didn't work out, and you're right here. Look where you are.
I don't want to hear it because then that's one of my other yellow flags.
What?
Then I get
your
get
other
in bed
yellow
with you.
flag is
then I got to be like, wait, I got to get in bed with you, grab you, and I want to kiss you. And I'm like, wait. Did she kiss this other guy the same way?
Oh my God, you're one of those.
I don't want that yellow
You know
bullshit.
what, guys? We're not breaking news here. We all know Joe is like this, so he's just confirming it all.
You know, when we get off,
he
this
likes
podcast,
to make pretend he married Mother Teresa.
When we get off this podcast, we're gonna go upstairs or whatever. She's like, yeah, how'd she do it? You'll bust my balls.
No, I won't.
I'm just not afraid to talk about it.
I'll be like, which girl are you
confidence. I have confidence.
I have confidence.
Because I can talk about it,
I'll be like, which girl are you talking about?
Yeah.
Is the piece of plastic in your wallet doing enough for you? Because with the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with everyday purchases and on-time payments. That's the magic of Credit Builder. You can increase your credit history with no annual fees or interest. And having a higher credit score can mean getting better car loan rates or renting apartments a lot easier, or just bragging rights around the dinner table. So continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score at all. Get started at chime.com/Melissa. That's chime.com/Melissa. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank, N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' scores may not improve.
So, yeah, there's a lot of yellow flags. What
about the guys? Let me ask you this. What about the guys? I'm saying guys because whoever we know that is single. No, actually, we were the single woman to dinner the other couple nights ago. We have some guy friends that are single. We know single people, believe it or not, right? We come across a lot of people that are single. A lot of my hairdressers, makeup artists. There's a lot of people we know. What about when the guy's really happy and he's with the girl and he takes her to dinner and he's really committing to her. It seems like they're very monogamous. They have a relationship, but he has to constantly DM other girls. And he has to constantly get more attention. Why does that happen so much with a lot of stories I hear in relationships?
Well, because I'm going to tell you something, because today it's a different world. These phones, you could just DM anyone. You could back then, remember when cell phones just came out, or when I was younger, there was beepers, And it was just so
Oh my God, I used to be #143, 143. That means I love you. I love you.
No, I used to be like 69, 69,
I know
69.
you did.
Come over,
I know
come
you
over.
did.
And I'm like, oh, I'm coming. That was the code.
How attractive.
Yeah,
Ugh.
attractive.
How did you get me
911, 69, 69. I'm like, Mommy, I got to go play with the friends. I'll be right back, Mommy. I'm going to go play football.
Uh-huh.
You
What
know?
a loser.
Mom, I'm going to go study at Brian's house. We got to study. We got a big test tomorrow. Okay,
All right, but getting
I used to
back
leave.
to the facts.
So
this is not about all about
okay,
you.
so listen, it's different back then. It was beepers, cell phones just came out. Now look at technology's insane. So
Well, I think the
you
cell
could
phone-
there could be a woman in California, LA, and you just posted something. She hits you up. She's like, "You're hot," and you're like, "Okay, you're hot too." You just start talking. It's a text. It's insane. So it's so easy, and I believe today it's just so much. Women are more like men. Women hit on men today.
A lot more than they used
Yes.
to. They're a lot
Women-
more
Yes.
responsive. I feel like they're more into it's honestly it's not just about the man hitting on the women anymore. The women also hit on the men. A lot of you guys tell me that the women are worse than the men.
It's more aggressive.
Like
it is more aggressive today going out. Like as a man, you go out, and even if you're married, you got a ring on, and women they send drinks to you. Like I used to send drinks when I was single to a girl. They'd send you over drinks, then they come over and they sit down next to you, and they're very aggressive, and they talk, and it's like, oh my God.
You told me married women are the worst.
Married, of course they are. I mean, they're just because a lot of married people.
Because are they bored?
You know what?
Or are they just looking for extra attention? Is it what is it?
You know what happens with married people? That you just get married, and then kids come involved in life and struggles, and everybody just thinks like, okay, it becomes a routine, and I'm with this man or I'm with this woman. Okay, it's going to be the same bullshit, and I think it's so wrong. Like I cherish our relationship. Now that I know you 18 years, I'm like, oh my God, this is my baby. She's 18 years. Like I just want to keep going, so I don't get to the point where.
Well, not all men are like you, right? So there's a lot of men out there that literally still want to go out and they need extra attention. Like I'm saying, like the DMs, like Adam Levine, exactly what he did, right? Like we don't know that he went out and touched another woman, but we know that he definitely wanted to tell another woman that she was beautiful, that she was hot, that he was getting compliments from someone else. Like, why do people in relationships stray that way when it's like sexting, I will call it? Is that some type of is it a safe haven for someone to get attention without actually crossing the full line? Maybe that's what it is. And that's, to me, it's still cheating. Like if you're texting another woman, Joe, and you are telling her how beautiful she is, right?
Yep.
And how her body is banging and out of control.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, to me, you might as well go the full mile because
I'm so afraid
you're already
if you
not going to have a house to live in when you get back.
I can imagine if Melissa saw, and there's shit all over the press. Joe Gorga said, your body's banging, and he wants to hook up. Melissa, I'd be dead. I'd come home. I'd walk into the room, bang, shot, dead.
No.
Joe Gorga died. Suddenly, you'll stage it. You'll be like, there was a robber that came into the house.
Be like Lorena Bobbitt all over again up in here.
No, honestly, listen, is it right? No, I wouldn't like it if you were doing it. No.
Right.
I mean,
so here's the thing. If I'm texting someone telling another guy, those abs, damn, that face of yours, so is that cool with you? Or?
No, it's not cool. So let's go like this now. In Adam Levine's relationship now, does his wife, is it his wife?
Yes, his wife.
Okay. Does his wife say, does she say now, hey, what am I doing wrong? And let me step up.
Right.
Let's have a conversation because I do love you. You're my husband. I'm pregnant. Maybe I'm not giving you too much attention.
What if she's doing nothing wrong and he's an asshole?
Well,
There's
that
always
could be too,
that.
right.
There is always that.
Correct,
we cannot say this man is looking for attention from someone else because this woman did something wrong.
You see how
no, we can't ever say that because that's not the case.
If I'm married,
the key is to be happily married, I guess, because if you're not, you're going to stray a little bit possibly, or you might not stray, but you're going to have an attitude something.
It's going to I just want to be happy too. If I go to work and struggle all day, I got to come home. You got to give me, and I got to give you. Not just you. I have to make you feel like a woman. I have to make you feel sexy. I have to make you feel loved. I give you everything that I want. So if I know that, like if we're going out, like if you go out to a restaurant and a man comes out and hits on you, right? And he says, "Oh, you're so hot, you're so beautiful, you're sexy, look at the way you look." I continue after 18 years talk to you that way because I never want you to go out and feel that.
Okay.
So that's why
I get it. So like if a guy's at home and he's not telling his wife every day, like, wow, you're beautiful, or like he's not trying to grab her, or like just, it doesn't always have to be about sex, but just give her any type of attention. When she goes out and someone gives her attention, she's going to be blown away. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, of course. Because you know how many women are out there that are married that come up to, they come up to me really and they hit them. They're like, "I'm married." I'm like, "Aren't you married?" They're like, "Oh yeah, but my husband doesn't give me any attention." And they're hot and they're beautiful women. And I'm like, "Damn, he doesn't give you any attention." But really, it's sad, like, because it becomes a routine. But why? If I'm stuck with you, right? Not stuck. If we're married,
if I'm stuck with you.
But if I'm stuck with you for 18 years, I'm gonna make it good. Like I'm gonna make it good every day, even though sometimes you might say something.
Okay, you do. I agree. But what if you were not attracted to me, right? What if you were not attracted to me? Like we got married.
We're married. What do you mean?
No, a lot of people get married and then they're in love. It's a great partnership. It's a great. They make a great mother. I make a great mother, right? I make a great home, but you're not attracted.
Because you know what makes you unattractive is your personality that changes over time. This marriage thing is getting such a bad rap because everybody's like, "All right, I'm married," and social media doesn't help it because everybody's out.
Think about what it would have been before. Like even when our parents were married, you would have had to call my house phone. If you wanted to call to flirt with my father, you would literally have to ring the house phone, right? Yeah. So it's like, that's crazy. And so the other thing was a beeper. So it's like, you'd have to beep me. I'd have to find time to call you back. There wasn't like, hey, I could just shoot you a text in 3 seconds and tell you how hot you are.
How about when they call through the phone and emergency breakthrough from Melissa?
Right. And you're on the phone with your girlfriend. Your other girlfriend.
Yeah. So, no, but I was saying, what was I saying before you cut me off?
I don't know.
What was I just saying? I was just saying something.
You're just saying that it becomes like a contract opposed to a marriage. Like you just get stuck in a bind and you don't, people get too repetitious, right? It's just like they repeat every day. It's like we get up, we do this, we have our coffee, we eat dinner, we lay down, we do this.
No. There was times we were going through our thing, right? We went through a little problem, guys, right? You saw it on the show, but she was it was just your personality that made me not like you, just like me. No, really, it was the way you changed. You were going through something as a woman in your head, right?
Yeah.
Maybe through stress and work.
Yes, and I maybe felt like you were holding me back from certain things, and then it just we were backfiring on each other.
Well, whatever you think, it was going on, it just happened, right? So what happens is people get this attitude, right? And what turns me off is that attitude. You can gain 50, 100 pounds. You're still my wife. I think you're still beautiful. But it's how you treat me and how sweet you are and how nice and how you make things happy in life. That is attractive. That's a turn on.
To make a happy house.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to come home to somebody bitching and nagging that's mean and nasty.
Lucky for you, you don't most of the time.
Correct.
But it's
so
really
Adam Levine might be coming home at this moment and they could be going through something or whatever, and she's probably not in a happy mood, and she's being nasty. So the guy's starting to text, sitting in the corner of his house, and he's miserable. He's like, I'm Adam Levine. I can get anybody I want.
Well, listen, she is also she is a Victoria's Secret supermodel.
Of course.
Just FYI.
But what?
And I just want to say, I saw something on TikTok actually the other day that was hysterical. Some girl was doing a TikTok and she was like, they should make everyone feel better out there. This girl's literally like a Victoria's Secret supermodel, and she still has a guy saying, texting other girls behind her back, and she was making a joke out of it, saying, girls, so basically if you want to eat the cake, enjoy the cake, because if they're going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you whether you look like a Victoria's Secret supermodel or whether you ate the cake. Yeah. That's basically what she was saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You could look like this goddess or this goddess of a man, but you have the shittiest personality, or you're miserable, or you're not happy, and you want to look elsewhere.
Right.
You know, so that's the bottom line. And that's it. I mean, I'd rather be with somebody I have a great time with, personality, have fun. That's attractive to me. Somebody that's nice to me. Somebody that's, that's attractive. But if I got to come home and be right?
It's true. I get what you're saying. You're let off a lot of personality. So
yeah.
So there you go, guys. There's Joe's advice for that. Just be happy when your man gets home, because he says that really drives
not just the man,
the attraction.
Women, both.
No, I know. I'm saying you're talking from a man's point of view. So I'm gonna just say, like, that's your thing. I feel like that's most men. Thing. They want to see someone who's excited for life, someone who's happy with where they're living, is happy with what's going on around them. Like,
I think that's everybody, because you know what? Listen, mostly men I know that go to work every day and just say, I go to work all day, I'll support my kids and my family, but when I come home, I just want peace. They want to be fun and happy and just normal stuff. But and if you think about it, women want the same thing, don't they?
Well, most of the time, yeah. We don't want you to come home grouchy, that's
right.
for sure.
Who comes home to a miserable man?
And it's not always, sometimes, a lot of times now, women come home from work grouchy as well, because we're working all day. So it's a little different than,
I think you go to work all day.
I think everyone comes home sometimes grouchy at this point, because the women are working just as hard as the men.
You know what everybody has to learn? To go to work all day, deal with your battles all day, go fight. Once you leave that office, or you leave that job site, you leave whatever, and you walk in that house, you are a different person. You have to shut it down.
That is true. That's the one advice we'll leave off on this subject, is that we do know that there's a whole world out there. The kids stress you out all day. Your job stressed you out all day. Whether you're a man, a woman, whatever you have, whatever it is, when you come home, you really do have to leave it at the door and not take it out on everyone who's in the house. Just start fresh with dinner and life. And when you go back to work the next day, you got to go back to the grind or whatever you have to do. But it is good to leave it at the door. That's a fact.
My friends envy me. They always say, I don't know how you do it. They'll talk to me throughout the day. You say, you're dealing with these fires over here. This is blowing up. Then you just, once you come home, you shut it down. A lot of my friends are like, I can't do that. Well, you got to learn.
Yeah.
Got to learn.
And their wives will complain that they don't shut.
Look, there was a time that Melissa was overworking, right? Working all day. I'd come home and she'll keep working all day on a computer and all night. And I'm like, listen, are you going to hang out? Are we going to have a little us time? I mean, it's getting boring here.
Yeah, I was addicted to work. I was getting addicted to just doing my orders for Envy. And I could go on and on and on with emails. I literally can check emails until I wake up the next day. It's crazy.
But we all can keep working, but then you have to shut it down. So what I tell you, I used to tell you, you need to learn to shut it down.
Yes, I think that is important. So anyway, guys, so, if you agree with me on this yellow flag thing, let me know, because it's true. If you have any friends out there that you feel like it's not a complete red flag, but there's definitely a couple yellows, is that a deal breaker? I'm so curious what you guys think about this. So let me know what you think about this.
Well, here we are on lockdown. How are you? It's Booker of the Perez Hilton podcast with Chris Booker. We get it. We know you're bored. We're still doing shows. We're keeping you up to date with everything entertainment. A little bit of relief from everything that's going on in the world. You could get the show on Spotify. You could get it on your Apple Podcasts or the Podcast One app. Whatever you do, download and subscribe and get the PHP, the Perez Hilton podcast with Chris Booker, and everything that's entertainment will be covered.
BravoCon's coming up, which is awesome. Very soon. It's only going to be, that's 2 weeks away, 2-3 weeks away. BravoCon. What a weekend that is going to be. When I tell you guys, that's going to be a whirlwind, crazy. That's going to be 4 nights, just living in New York City, just meeting fans, getting on Q&As, questions. It's going to be the first time. I'm in shock about this. Can I tell you guys, for Housewives fans out there, what I'm in shock about? That they literally write as one of the shows that you can go to is the Jersey Girl show, right? So they literally say the first time the Jersey Housewives will all be together since they filmed the reality and since Teresa's wedding. And I'm in shock that they're putting us on a panel together for basically a Q&A when it sounds to me like it's so a reunion thing. It's so saved for the reunion or like something else. I cannot believe they're putting us all together for BravoCon.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
shocking to me.
Right?
Yeah.
We were all kind of in shock over that.
And we're filming a reunion in what, 2-3 months, right? Correct?
Oh,
no.
we don't know. No, I don't know.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is way before, so that's crazy. But I'll be on what? I'll be on a Watch What Happens Live panel too.
Yeah, we're gonna do Watch What Happens Live, and you're gonna do gonna do something with the Jersey Men.
Yeah, we got all the Jersey boys going. It's gonna be wild.
That's gonna be fun. You guys,
I got a show that Thursday at Caroline's on Broadway.
Yeah, you just put a second show on. He sold out the first show, guys. So if you do want to go see Joe, if you're going to BravoCon or you're going to be in New York City on October 13th, make sure you head over to Joe's Instagram or to carolines.com because you will be able to get tickets for his show with Frank Catania, which is going to be so much fun. But the first show sold out, but he did just add a second show. So make sure you guys grab tickets for that.
It's going to be a wild time. I only want people that are going to come here and have a good time. You got, because it's going to be, don't come if you're not going to be happy.
No, you're going to have so many like true fans there that are just excited to see you and just.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I'm going to be there, guys. I got to come support. I got to do a little rehearsal. I'm doing something fun at Watch What Happens Live. I have to rehearse. I can't say what.
Yeah, can we say it?
No.
Why not?
Because we can't give away Watch What Happens Live secrets. We'll be in trouble. The Bravo gods are listening.
We'll give a little hint.
You're not going to do that. No, you're not.
A little hint.
No hints. So anyway, yeah. So Watch What Happens Live is going to be fun. BravoCon is just going to be a whole thing. I'm sure so many people are coming. So that is going to just be a thing in itself. Could you imagine like every housewife, every show on Bravo from every city, whether you're housewives, whether you're, winter house, summer house, whatever it is, they are all going to be there at the same time in New York City in the same, where are we, at the Jacob Javits Center or something? Like, holy cow, this is something.
Oh, it's at the Jacob Javits Center?
I think it is, yeah.
Wow.
Who would have known that like Bravo created their own like celebrities, literally created their own like world that you can enter the Bravo universe. It's crazy. It's like we're the Avengers. It's like you can come out, meet the characters.
Come meet the characters.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. There's another subject, honestly, that I wanted to talk about because Joe, this is what Joe did to me, guys, the other day. And
here we go. Let's talk about Joe.
No, but like this leads into a very important conversation.
What?
This is kind of like wrong, like kind of stupid and silly to talk. It's a little silly to talk about. And don't go into depth with like the description because then I'm going to get really annoyed. But anyway, the other day,
you're bringing stuff up. I got to protect myself.
Well, you can't go into depth. So the other day, me and Joe are at our house. Obviously, we're building a house. We're wrapping it up, about to move in, getting the final touches together to get in there very shortly. And, we had like a bunch of workers, I would say. There was men coming in and out. There was, people working on the house. I am there. I am standing there.
Biggest
I am
pain in the ass you ever meet.
Directing traffic. I am telling everyone where to go, how to get there,
and screwing everything up.
What to hang on the walls and wallpaper and you name it. Anyway, so I'm there, and there was a couple other men workers working. They were working, whether it was, I don't know if it was the floors or whatever it was. All of a sudden, I'm standing there talking to Joe and these guys, and then I go inside, and I get a text message from Joe. He's still at the house, just like somewhere else in the house, and he's like, he said like,
I don't remember. What are you trying to say?
You said fix your camel toe.
Oh yeah.
That's literally what you text me.
Yeah.
While I am standing there talking to like another guy in the house working. Yeah, I got so self-conscious. I'm wearing my like yoga pants because I came from the gym. I have on my like workout clothes. I just like was in mid-sentence to this somebody working on the house, and I'm in mid-sentence with him, and I get a text from my husband, fix your camel toe. I'm like, oh, I can't even finish my conversation with the guy. I just look at the text. I really just want to look down and like see what the frig he is talking about.
Oh, it was out of whack. It was.
I had yoga pants on.
It was like from a movie.
No. Oh, my God. It was not. Will you stop it?
Listen, well, the biggest problem is why you come to a construction site in yoga pants, and she's got this tank top on, and she just came out of the gym.
Who cares? That's how I run around all day.
No, listen, men, when women wear those yoga pants,
stop it.
Men are like, yeah, especially when you come to construction men.
Men are not like that.
She was standing on like the 4th or 5th step, right, and I was down on the bottom, and I had a straight view of that.
Only you were looking.
It was. You're right.
You don't have to explain.
No,
but only you were looking.
Everyone could see it.
Okay,
you could be across the street and you saw it. You're
God.
like, damn, what's going on over there? So I walked outside and I texted.
He texts me and I literally answer him back. I say something. What did I say back to you? I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't even know what I said to you, but I'm like, I don't know.
See, but I'm a good husband. I looked out for you. I was telling you. I could have just let you sit there and look like a Momo the whole time.
Okay, but that's my question that I want to roll into. Like, it was like a first for us. I'm like, my husband is texting me from the other room about a camel toe to like fix my leggings. What the hell is going on here? But that leads into a bigger conversation that I want to talk about. Do you let your significant other know when something is embarrassing? In other words, if you're sitting there talking to them and you want to tell them like, hey, you have bad breath or something that's going to be embarrassing, do you go ahead and do you tell them? Like, what's the real protocol on that? What's the right thing to do? And I think like every relationship is different. Do you tell them like, that hair looks really bad or your armpits smell, you need deodorant? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what is right and what is wrong in that situation?
I think, because you're like you're together, man. So it's like you're best friends. If I can't tell you, I can't tell anybody. I want to tell you, listen, there's if your breath is humming, I'm like, yo, babe, woof, your breath's humming.
So you believe in telling.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But like, is that right? What if the person gets super insulted and it causes like this big problem because you're insulting them and then they're self-conscious and then they get all weird with you and it's like, you don't know. Together? Not everyone.
Is this husband and wife?
Yes, I'm talking about like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, someone you're married to. Like, like someone that you're together with and close to. Obviously, you're not going to say that to a stranger. Most people are not going to walk up to a stranger and tell them, hey, your breath smells or you need deodorant or, oh, wow, you gained a lot of weight. Like most people are not going to do that to a stranger. I'm talking about someone you're very close with, someone you love very much. Like, you told me I had a camel toe. Is this something that is normal? Like, what is the protocol on this?
What were you feeling at that moment when I told you that?
I was feeling like embarrassed. Like, I wanted to look down and I wanted to fix it.
And you were around a bunch of people at the time, right? So what were you doing?
I was standing with 3 men when you texted me
So
this.
did you instantly like try to close your legs and move out of the way?
Oh
like,
my God.
No, like put your hands down. Like, what were you thinking at that moment?
I was thinking Joe's probably being dramatic, number 1. Number 2, I need to use the restroom and check my leggings.
Right. So what were you like when you were trying to make that? Who were you with? Maybe like some
I forget who
blind guy or something.
What?
Or, no, who were you with? Like the curtain guy?
The blinds guy. You're saying?
Maybe,
I know what you were trying to say.
Were you with the blind? Like, what were you doing at that moment?
I was probably talking to the guy with the curtains. Probably. Who knows? All I know is that I was uncomfortable instantly. So it's like, do you take offense to it? So like, if I have BO or if somebody doesn't have proper hygiene, right? Proper hygiene, and you love them so much. Do you tell them this? It's a very uncomfortable thing. You probably want to tell them. Is there a nice way to say it? Do you just buy the deodorant and slip it like in their room? Or do you discuss like, hey, your armpits smell a little bit today?
Yeah, I would just say, listen, honey, you got a little odor right now. You got to make sure you clean yourself. What, is that a bad thing?
I just don't know how I would like handle that. Like I don't know. I guess some people, and this is going to be like a personality trait too, because some people are definitely going to be more sensitive in this area. Just like some people like burp in front of the others and like whatever. Like, I don't know. I guess this is like a very touchy, like it's.
But if my armpits are smelling or my breath is smelling or something.
And we're not talking about like once in a blue moon. I'm talking about like it's a constant thing.
Oh, constant?
Well, I mean
that could.
more than once.
That could put somebody in depression. If you yo, your breath stinks. All right, you go to kill. Yo, your breath stinks. Did you brush your teeth today? Are you wearing? Are you using that Listerine that I told you? I mean, this poor person. Yeah, I think they're gonna get a complex.
You're gonna insult them.
If you telling them 15, 20 times.
Listen, I just think it's a delicate balance. It really is a very delicate balance. And I don't know. You might have some friends that say something. And you have some that don't say anything at all.
I heard on the radio, right? I heard on the radio this girl was going to the bathroom. And they were talking about some game. This girl was going in the bathroom, and she was doing number 2. And she calls her boyfriend in there, and she's like, come in here, baby. I need you to hold my hand. Because they were talking about moments in relationships. Where does it go too far? So she was a woman. She was so funny. She goes, yeah. Yep, I went in. I was taking a dump, but he was in the bathroom, but I needed him. I needed him at that moment.
Why did she need?
So she called her man. He came in, and he was holding her hand. She's like, "Please hold my hand while I was doing this," because she couldn't go to the bathroom. She was constipated, so he's holding her hand.
Oh,
and she was pushing.
God.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So would I ever do that with you?
Where did you hear this story? Where did you ever hear this story?
On the radio. Heard it on the radio.
You hear a lot on the radio. I'm just telling you.
I drive a lot, so
he drives all morning long and he listens to the radio. He'll come home all the time. Z100 told me, right? That's what you tell me. I have another situation too. That was one situation that happened. Okay. I have another situation that happened to us recently. And this is can tell you guys how crazy the press is, for real. So the other day, my au pair that lives with me got into a car accident. So, and she didn't get hurt. She hit the guardrail. It was literally around the block from my house. She hit the guardrail, but she did completely total the car. Much to my dismay. Completely totaled the car she was driving. I literally go and I run over to her. She calls me, "Oh my God, Melissa, I'm so sorry. Come over here." I said, "Are you okay?" She was fine. I ran over there. The car is an accordion. Okay. It's an accordion. Very stressful. But to make a long story short, it happened in front of, a couple houses. It was on a block with houses. And we had to call the police, yada, yada, yada. The police had to come. We had to do the whole police report. We needed to get the car towed away, the whole thing. Well, come to find, I did see one or two neighbors standing outside and of course, checking what's going on. I'm sure they're noticing it's me as well standing out there. We get a call. My assistant gets a call from TMZ within 30 minutes to 40 minutes and says, "Hi, we have a story that Melissa Gorga was driving and she was texting while driving and she crashed her car." And how did someone get that? Now, even if you thought I was the one who crashed the car, where from now it's fine to have an accident, right? It's not fine to be texting while driving, right? So whoever this person is out there decided to put a little twist on the story and say Melissa was driving and she was texting while she was driving. And then TMZ calls us and says, "We're going to write the story." And we're like, okay, well, you can write whatever you want, but why don't you look at the report first? Because Melissa was not the one driving and she wasn't even in the car. And I basically just came to pick our nanny up. So it's really crazy. That's why you guys cannot believe everything you read in the press. You can't believe everything you hear about people and celebrities, because that was such a perfect example to me. And what made me a little upset about that, if I'm being honest,
people like that suck.
Yeah.
Sorry. You do. You're the same type of people that put those bad messages on Instagram and social media.
Yeah,
no, the same type of people.
I can talk about. I have another story for you.
Because I like to give people, but I do. I like to give people good advice and compliment them and say something nice. But
you don't want to be negative. Well, I have another story to follow that up. I had a lot of things happen to me this week. So it just wants, it goes to show you that someone out there decided to call up a news station, tell them Melissa was driving and she was texting. Where, when their right mind, would they get that I was texting? Obviously, they would never know something like this. They're making it up, but they're putting a little twist on the story. But I thought it was horrible, especially because it was definitely a neighbor type situation, because it happened around the block from my house, right? And for me, I'm just like, what, that's horrible. And so this is just a little story because I like to share with you guys. This is kind of the unfiltered behind the scenes, right? That you want when we're on a podcast. But that's one thing that happened to me. I'll tell you another thing that happened to me this week.
What happened?
And this goes to show you kind of people like this. So at the gym, like, what about people who, it's just like, I know what my pet peeve is. Like if I were doing the rapid fire questions and you asked me about my pet peeve right now, I would tell you it's people that don't mind their own business. It drives me crazy when they they worry about what you're doing and they watch you, right? And it's like, I don't know, the other day at the gym, I think I put the heavy weights back by where the light weights go. And I feel like this woman looked at me like, oh, absolutely not. Like she was gonna like cut my head off, and she was just another like, patron of the gym. And like, okay, I get it. It was the way that she said it to me. Cause I was like, oh, I wanted to keep some heavy weights in this area also because I lift heavy. And she was like, no, heavy weights go over there. And it was just, and I just like, it's just
one of those,
Yeah, it's just something about like people who are watching other people and get involved. Like I would never tell someone, hey, don't put those weights there. Go put them over there. I just wouldn't. I'm just not that person. So it's hard for me to understand the people that are like that.
Yeah, some people. Maybe she's unhappy at home, and her husband was sex texting somebody, and she was pissed, so she came to the gym and she took it out on you.
Maybe
she's just mad,
or maybe she just ordered the wrong sandwich at Starbucks. Right. The wrong sandwich came out. Her coffee had milk in it. She doesn't like milk. Maybe that too.
I can only respond in that way. Either you're very angry and you're not happy in life that
do you do that? Are you that guy?
No.
Do you pay attention to other people?
I don't pay attention to anybody. Listen, people do their own thing. I don't get involved. I'm busy every day. I worry about me, and that's it. Now, if there was a man out there beating a woman, yes, I get involved. I'm sorry, I'll jump in if that was something like that.
Or a woman beating a man.
Either something like that or somebody's doing something like in that they shouldn't be doing, yes. But otherwise, it's none of my business.
Right. And it's that saying, like, I'm too busy working on my own grass to notice if yours is greener. Like, that's such a good statement right there, because it's like, pay attention where you are, worry about yourself, stop looking at everybody else's shit. Yeah. And that's really such a strong statement, right? And that's my pet peeve. So I wanted to share all these little stories with you guys today. So, all right, Joe. Well, as always, thank you for joining me and giving us all of your very manly opinions. The women I will say, without blowing your head up more than it is, people love when you're on the podcast. They do love to hear the marital stuff that goes on in this house. And
you know why they love it? And I'm going to be honest. I don't have a big head. It's just realness. I speak real. I tell you how it is.
You speak the truth.
The truth. That's it.
And listen, guys, also to everyone out there listening, I am so into all of this info with yellow flags. I do find it so interesting. And if any of you know anyone out there who, you want to throw a yellow flag on, who you're feeling like they might be giving you a yellow flag, that you're noticing your friend is not noticing some yellow flags, like, give me all of these stories if you're dealing with any type of this, because I'm very into it. And I do want to talk more about yellow flags in relationships and how important they are, if you should kind of turn a blind eye to them, or should we pay more attention to the yellow flags and not just the red ones? Because sometimes the yellow flags may turn into big red flags. And we just need to keep our eyes open for that. So make sure you guys let me know. Joe and I are off to watch our favorite show right now that I sucked you into. We are major Handmaids fans in this house on Hulu. If anyone hasn't watched it yet, this is not a promo. I love Handmaids. It's so interesting. And if you're going to watch it from the beginning, this is just my PSA announcement. You will get it'll get a little confusing after the first or second. You'll get what's going on. Trust me, don't leave the TV. It's amazing. It's amazing. The actresses in it, the actors in it, Elizabeth Moss. It truly is such a great show. I am looking forward to going to watch it right now, actually. So everyone have an awesome week. Have a great weekend. We love you so much. Thank you for the support always. And thank you for listening to On Display.
Love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
The Premier League soccer season is heating up. Turn to Betting Weekly English Premier League on the BetRivers network for the best bets and analysis for this week's features. Subscribe to Betting Weekly Premier League today, wherever you get your podcast. If you're a tennis fan, you'll love Betting Weekly Game Bet Match on the BetRivers network. Whether you're a bettor or just love tennis, you'll enjoy the in-depth analysis each week of the tennis calendar. Subscribe to Game Bet Match today from your favorite podcast provider.